Hello YouTube, Anasa here. For those of you that are coming back, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and watching this video. And if you haven't yet activated the bell for notifications for new videos that I post, please do if you so wish. And for those of you that are new here, thank you for coming by, for stopping by and watching this video as well. I am being at this moment Anasa. If you're curious about to know this expression and why I use being instead of am, please watch a video that I posted here not too long ago. I'm gonna post the link right here so you can get to and get to know a little bit more about me. But right now I'm working with therapies that stimulate and intrigues you to get into this path of self-knowledge, of getting to know who you really are, your essence, so you can live a life in truth. Those techniques are the Amazonian flower essences that I will have a video here explaining a little more about what the flower essences are and what can they do for you. And also I work with illuminated quantum healing hypnosis, yoga teacher for a long time, using yoga techniques and yoga philosophy as well for this process of self-knowledge with the people that I work with. And I do have also a video here explaining a little more about illuminated quantum healing. So if you're curious about those techniques, I invite you to watch this video as well. Let me get right into the video and what I want to talk to you here today. Today I want to talk about falling in love with yourself. What does that really mean and how to do it? So I want to talk based on my own experience as always, so the things that I have learned, and you can take it or leave it, what works for you and what it doesn't. And I would love to have an interaction with you guys, so if you could comment, post, and maybe share what it is, what it means self-love for you. So for me, I remember when I was young going through challenging moments in my life that my mom would most of the time say, but you're suffering like that because you need to first learn how to love yourself. Usually it would be related to breaking up with a boyfriend or a friendship that I got disappointed with. And she would tell me that, and I would be a little confused to say, what does it mean to love myself? I think I like myself enough already. What does that really mean? And it became more like, oh, I have to take better care of myself. Maybe that's what she means. Maybe I need to cut my hair, have my nails done. And I believe that this came to me because it's a collective consciousness thing, right? If we say take care of yourself, might be related to go straight into things like that. It is taking care of your body, which is not wrong, and it really works because the body is part of you. However, throughout my years of life, which I understand that I'm young still, I'm having a lot to live. If God granted me more years of life, that I believe it will happen. I feel it in my heart that I have a lot to live. But what I have learned on those short yet some years of my life was that what it means in reality, first and foremost, is to get interested and to know who I really am. And that guided me to yoga and other techniques like the ones that I already mentioned here that I work with, like illuminated quantum healing and flower essences, that allowed me to discover and to open up the layers to what I thought I was, and really express and bring it to the surface what I really was. So that was the first step for me to fall in love with myself, or translate this taking care of myself as. That was when I really started noticing significant changes within my relationships and my environment. So that would be the first thing that I would tell you in terms of falling in love with yourself. The first thing you should do is getting to know who you are. And I'm sure that you find on your own way better ways to do so. But I have a couple of things to recommend. Yoga, it's one of them. Meditation, writing down, journaling. There are so many things that you can do. And again, I would love to open the conversation for you to share the ways that you probably have done already in your life. And if you have any questions, of course, post them here that I'm going to do my best to answer them as I know them based on my experience. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about falling in love with yourself and how to do it is that the second step after that for me was to notice within me even the things that I didn't like as much, or they are not very nice, right? And I can give you an example. Maybe it was my judgment towards other people that wouldn't agree with me. And the judgment is something that really follows us, right? By noticing this judgment is the first step, but then by finding compassion in your heart means not only growing in love for the other that you're judging, but also recognizing that this judgment is within yourself. So right there, it grows the idea of self-love and love, right? And then it's when I understood that my mom would say, your problem is that you need to love yourself, right? Not problem, but the problem in this situation is that you need to love yourself more. By loving myself, I grow in compassion for myself, and I grow in compassion to others as well. Because there's so many times in which we do something wrong, or we feel guilty because of a certain way that we act, or something that we did, and we tend to be very, very harsh on ourselves first, right? Instead of finding the opportunity to rise above and love that defect, so we can then grow in love for it and for ourselves. So I see this quite often. So just in a nutshell, I would say that love yourself and fall in love with yourself really means to go internally, go into this journey of getting to know who you are, finding the things that you think they are not so nice about yourself, and instead of punishing yourself for it, finding ways that you can find more compassion, more love, and overcome and grow and possibly change those things for something else that you think they are more appropriate for you in your life. So you can then get the results in your life that you're looking for. All starts with the self. That's what I have found in my journey. So I hope that this video helped you in some way. If you're going through a situation in which you feel that more self-love and falling in love with yourself is what you need, just try to do things like, like that I mentioned, that will bring awareness to who you really are. And then imagine that you're speaking with a little child. Imagine that you're speaking with a 3-year-old. How would you talk to that 3-year-old that did something wrong? Would you be nasty to that 3-year-old? Or you would be kind and nice and tell the things that you think you should be done to change and to be in path and in line with what you believe the most in a kind way? Most likely you would talk to that little child, or that 3-year-old, 5-year-old, or whatever, just that little innocent child. You would talk to that child in a kind way and show a best way. So why don't you do the same thing to yourself? Just something to think about. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Once again, that you can take things that you can apply in your life. And please leave here comments, questions, ideas for what you did in your life that for you are acts of self-love and helped you to fall in love with yourself a little bit more. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time. Bye.